Hi guys, this is Sajid from Rodwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Evolution X ROM onto your Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. Do keep in mind that the ROM is supported only across the Snapdragon variants, which are the SMG780G and SMG781B. It is not supported on the Exynos variant, so if that's well and good, then let's get started. First and foremost, get hold of the ROM zip file from here. Once you have got the ROM file, you will now have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. Apart from that, it will also end up tripping the Knox as opposed to all the other Android phone. In case of Samsung, Knox is a hardware component which is there embedded in the motherboard, and as soon as you unlock the bootloader, its state will change from 0x0 to 0x1, and then you will not be able to revert back to the original state. So whatever drawbacks and caveats are there with the unlock bootloader will stay there even if you relock the bootloader. So if that's well and good, then you could refer to a guide and the video and unlock the bootloader on your phone. For that, you will have to enable USB debugging, and after that boot your phone to the download mode. Also enable OEM unlocking as well, then reboot to download mode, and now press and hold the volume up key for a few seconds, and after that your phone will be unlocked. Once the bootloader is unlocked, your phone will undergo a reset and then boot to the OS. So make sure to re-enable USB debugging once again. Likewise, go to the developer option and make sure you get the OEM unlocking option as well. It is extremely important that you get the OEM unlocking. It should be grey out. That's not a cause of concern, but it should be enabled and shown here. For that, you will have to also go online. So go online, go to enable Wi-Fi, and then make sure that you are getting the OEM unlocking option here. If you're getting this option, so with this you have unlocked the bootloader, and let's proceed ahead with the next step. So now you will have to install the TWRP recovery onto your phone. So let me show you how that could be done as well. In this regard, your first course of action is to unlock the bootloader, which we have done. And now you will have to get hold of the recovery file and the VBMeta patch file. The VBMeta patch is required to disable the Android verified boot. So get hold of the recovery from the official side from here, and the VBMeta patch file as well. Once you have got both the VBMeta as well as the recovery file, let's proceed ahead. Now you will have to download the Odin. Odin will be used to flash the recovery file. So download Odin from here and extract them onto your PC. So let me do that as well. Upon extraction, you will get the following 4 files of Odin, as you could see. Once that is done, you will now have to boot your phone to download mode. Now there exists quite a few ways of doing so, but we will be using the ADB command because it's universally accepted across all the Android phone. So for that, you have to go to settings, about phone, software information, and tap on build number 7 times. You will get a prompt that developer mode has been enabled. So now go to the settings menu, and you should now see developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to USD debugging. You will get a prompt, tap on OK. You might get an RSC key prompt as well. So again, tap on allow, and with this, debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to platform to folder address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. Now type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, you will now have to simply type in ADB reboot download, and your phone will now reboot into the download mode, which should take just a few seconds for that to happen. So let's just wait, and then we will proceed ahead and flash the TWRP recovery via the Odin tool. So now that your phone is in the download mode, launch the Odin via the exe file. Click on OK in the warning sign and make sure that your phone is shown here under the COM section. In my case, it's the COM 8. The COM port might vary depending on the USB port on your phone, on your PC. Likewise, under log as well, it should show as added. First off, go to option and uncheck auto reboot. Now click on AP and load the TWRP file. It will be in a .tar file, so load the tar file of the TWRP recovery. Then go to user data and now load the VB-Meta patch file. Again, it will also be in a tar format. So load both of these files and click on start. The flashing will now start and will take just a few seconds. And once the flashing is complete, you will get a pass message. So now you will have to press and hold the volume down and power key for around 7 seconds until your phone powers off. As soon as it powers off, you will then have to press and hold the power and the volume up keys, and your phone will then reboot to the TWRP recovery. So first off, let's press and hold the power and the volume down keys and keep holding both this key. Your phone will try to undergo a restart, but first it will power off. So as soon as it powers off, now press and hold the power and the volume up keys and keep on holding both this key for around 6 to 7 seconds. And now let go of both this key, and if the timing was correct, your phone should now reboot to the TWRP recovery, or else you will have to reflash the recovery once again. Let's verify the same. So the timing of the button press is extremely important. Just a slight misstep and your phone will boot to the OS or the stock recovery. So in our case, we have flashed the recovery successfully, but only the half job is done. We will now have to disable we have to carry out the FB disabler method. The multi disabler will not work for S20 FE. So for FB disabler, you will have to go to wipe, go to advanced wipe. Before that, make sure that you have taken a backup of all the data on your phone, and now checkmark key data, key refugee, metadata and data. So these are the 4 partition: key data, metadata, key data and key refugee, and swipe to wipe. Once the 4 partition have been wiped, go back, again go back, go to reboot and select recovery, and your phone will now reboot to the TWRP recovery and the data partition will now be mounted. After that, we'll first verify if the encryption has been removed or not. So let's have a look at that as well. It should take a few seconds. In the meantime, we are done with the flashing of the recovery, so we may proceed ahead with the flashing of the ROM file. So now you will have to boot your phone to the recovery, which we have done already. And now let's first and foremost go to install, and as you could see, the internal storage is currently encrypted, so you cannot access the storage. Or even if you might be able to access the storage from your PC, then you will not be able to identify which files and folder stands for what. So there are 2 ways of dealing with this issue. First off, you could either do a format data or simply transfer the file to any other location on your phone. As of now, only the SD card, which is internal storage, is encrypted. The rest of the other partitions are not encrypted. For example, if I go to the data partition, you could see it's currently decrypted. So let's transfer the file in the data partition instead of the SD card, and we will then flash the ROM file from here. So let me show you how that could be done. So first off, go to the folder where you have got hold of the ROM file, and now you will have to transfer the ROM file inside the platform 2 folder on your PC. This should take just a few seconds, and once the ROM file has been transferred inside platform tools, rename it to something shorter. So let's rename it to ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. Now open the CMD window and type in adb push file name, which is rom.zip / and now the partition name, which is data partition, and hit enter, and the ROM zip file will now be transferred inside the data partition of our phone. There is no need to transfer it inside the SD card because it's currently encrypted. You might do a format data, and after doing a format data, restart your phone or reboot to the recovery, and the internal storage will then be decrypted. Or if you don't want to do a format data, then in that case, you may simply use the adb push command and transfer the ROM file to any other location. As of now, we are using the data partition, but you could also use any other partition of your choice. For example, the temp directory, which stands for TMP directory, you could also use that, or any other of your choice. So with that said, apart from that, if you have a USB OTG device, you may also use that OTG device and flash it using that. But please do not use ADB sideload. ADB sideload will lead to quite a few issues, and sideloading should only be used with AOSP recovery such as Sierra Droid or Evolution X recovery. But you should never use the sideloading with TWRP recovery. Always keep this point in mind. So either use the ADB push command, the USB mount, or the OTG, but never use the ADB sideload. So with that said, let me now show you. We have now got the ROM zip file, and we could now simply flash the ROM zip file onto our phone. So select the ROM zip file from here and do a right swipe to flash it. The flashing will now start, as you could see, and it could take up to around 5 minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, as you could see, the flashing is now complete. Finally, you will now have to do a format data. So go to wipe format data, type in yes and hit the blue check mark. And with this, we are done with the formatting as well. Now if you want to sideload any other zip file, then go to reboot and select recovery, and then you may do an ADB sideload of the required zip file. Or else, if you don't want to flash any other zip file, then just tap on reboot system and your phone will now reboot to the OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some additional time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From subsequent time, that will not be the case. Moreover, the ROM already comes inbuilt with the GApp packages, so it will also load a couple of Google app packages and framework that might also take a few extra seconds, but all this are for the first time delay only. So let's just wait for the boot animation or at least the boot logo to appear, either of which will signify that the flashing has been done. So guys, we are now inside the setup screen. Let me quickly set up the phone. If you want, you may connect to Wi-Fi and restore the data right now, but I am skipping that. I will do so later on. As of now, let's quickly go to the setup screen. So I want to skip the lock screen, but I don't think that they will allow that to happen. That's quite strange. Okay, now just a minute. Now it's there. That was a strange UI experience. Anyways, let's move forward, and with this, we are now inside the OS, and this is the wallpaper of the Evolution X ROM, and we have a few pre-installed Google apps, and apart from that, this is the Evolution X Papers app for the wallpapers, I suppose, and the recording apps are there. This is the QS tiles, and the Evolver is the section where you get all the goodies. So we will have a look at that as well. So let's go there. And first off, we have the theming section. In the theming settings, you could change the theming style. For example, this is the rainbow, and let me go with the expressive. Nah, that does not look quite nice. So anyways, as of now, let's go with the default one. Then you could choose the color source, the home wallpaper or the lock screen wallpaper. This is also known as the Material UI theming engine, which came with Android 12. It will automatically pick up the dominant color from the wallpaper and apply across the entire UI and UX. And if you choose both or default, you may choose either one of them from here, or you may simply skip this. So let's go with the preset one, and then you may change the accent color from here as well. For example, if I choose the red color and tap on it, and let me apply a different accent background color, and as you could see, the change has been implemented. Then you may apply the tint and luminance as well. Then there is a dark theme option. You may schedule the dark theme based on the time of the day. Then there are the various body font style. Do note that whatever font you choose from will be applied across the entire OS, the UI and UX of each of the apps and the third-party apps, system apps as well. So make sure to make the selection accordingly. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have the icon packs. Let me first enable a few toggles over here so that you could see the. So now you may keep a track of the icons at the top right, and let me show you. This is the Samsung style. This is the circular style, and it could take a few seconds for it to be shown. Apart from that, you have the Wi-Fi icon style as well that you could choose from. Then there are a few icon shapes. These will be implemented in the app drawer and the home screen as well. Let me show you. As you could see, they are implemented. Apart from that, icon shapes, you have the navigation bar styles. If you are using 3-button navigation, you may choose from either one of these styles. Then we have the signal style or the carrier data style. There are quite a lot of options to choose from. Apart from that, you have the data icon style for the 4G, LTE and 5G. Then next up, we have a few notification tweaks as well. So you may add a kill all app button. Let me show you. So currently it's not being shown here, I guess. I don't know why. Otherwise it's shown at the bottom, and when you tap on that, it will remove all the notifications from there. Okay, so it will be shown by long pressing. I get it. Long press it, and this is the icon which it's talking about. You may tap on OK and it will force stop the app. Just don't do so for the system app, only do so for the third party apps, and then you may vibrate on call connect, call waiting, or call disconnect as well. Then there are a few QS tweaks as well, so you may change the QS settings. Let me show you. Outlining, it's rectangular in shape. You may also hide the label and only show the text name, or you may change the number of rows and columns of icons in each of the QS styles. Then you may change the battery style as well. For example, let me go with the landscape iOS 16, and as you could see at the top right, it's implemented. Then you may show or hide the battery percentage in the QS settings as well. It's currently hidden. Let me unplug my phone. As you could see, it's hidden, and when you charge your phone, it will be again shown. You may also change this setting if you want. Then you may enable the quick pull down from the right hand side or left hand side. Let me show you from the right. So it's working well and good. You may change the positioning of the brightness slider as well and add animation when you interact with the QS tiles. Let me show you. So as you could see, these are interactive in nature now. Next up, we have the power menu options as well. So by default, the advanced power menu is enabled. Let me have a look at that. So let's go to advanced, and we have the recovery, bootloader, and the system UI. A download mode option might be appreciated, but still we don't have that because in Samsung phones we don't usually use the fast boot mode, but still we could do so via the ADB reboot download command. Then you have a few gestures as well, and these are the system gestures that you get across all the AOSP ROMs. Swipe to take screenshot. So it's working as well, and double tap to check phone. So this might lead to additional battery drainage as well. It will wake up the AOD. So as you could see, and then you could check out the notifications from your phone as well. Left to check phone, one-handed mode, system navigation style. You may change the navigation bar style from here. Currently it's swipe navigation. Then apart from that, you have a few gesture tweaks which we have checked just now. Then the lock screen as well, UDFPS. So regarding this, let me first add a fingerprint, which should just take a few seconds. So just give me a moment and I'll add a fingerprint, and then I'll show you the animations as well. Fingerprint, so let's go with this one, 4x4. Next, again let me confirm it, show all notifications, and let's add a fingerprint. It will take just a few seconds, so let me do so via my thumb, and then we will have a look at the custom animations as well as the animation styles when we interact with the fingerprint. So it will take a few more seconds, so I will quickly set up the animation. So let me do so for a few other regions of the thumb, and then it will be completed. And with this, we are done with the fingerprint. And now let's go back and have a look at the fingerprint animation styles as well. So the evolver and lock screen, UDFPS settings, and from here select custom UDFPS icons. So that's quite strange. As of now, we don't have a custom icon. We don't have any inbuilt icon. You may choose from a custom icon, but at least we have the animation style. So for example, let's go with the Aurora style, and let me now show you the same. So let me show you from here. So as you could see, it's working well and good. Then this is the McLaren, and let me show you this as well. And as you could see, so I have made a separate shorts on this. You may go through this and have a look at all these animations as well. This is the Genshin Impact, and let me unlock it. So there are no inbuilt animation, but there are no inbuilt logo, but you have inbuilt animations. That quite great to see. And apart from the fingerprints, you have the edge lighting. So when you get a notification, the edges will light up. Again, this will lead to additional battery drainage as well. Then you may implement a custom lock screen clock as well, and enable AOD based on the time of the day. And apart from that, we have a few button tweaks as well. So under system navigation, we have already checked this out, and in the animation style as well, you could enable or disable the charging animation. For example, this is the CRT animation that you could choose from, or even the scale animation. Then you have the power menu animations as well. So for example, if you choose slide from top, let me now check out. Okay, just a minute, we have to long press on it. So long press it, and as you could see, it's coming from top. So in the similar manner, you may choose from either of these animation. For example, this is expand vertically, and that's quite nice to see. And apart from that, we have a few miscellaneous tweaks as well. Parallel space, in this you could add multiple accounts, for example dual WhatsApp, dual Facebook, and so on. Then apart from that, let me have a look at so you also have a play integrity fix. That's quite great to see, but do keep in mind that Google tends to patch these custom fingerprint after each week. So go online and go to this section and make sure to update the section accordingly. Otherwise, you might not be able to use the banking and payment app of your choice. So as of now, let's have a look at the store is already enabled. And as of now, you cannot check this. There is some UI issue with this. So if this is not working, then you could also have one more option. You could also pass the play integrity test by flashing the play integrity fix module. I made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my video and get the job done. If this is not working, then you also have a few pixel props, and then your phone is spoofed as Google Pixel X Pro 8 Pro, and then you will get a few additional goodies. Likewise, you also have a Google Photos unlimited storage. In this you will get unlimited free storage in original quality. Then the Netflix spoof will allow you to watch all the DRM content in full HD quality 1080p without any downgrade whatsoever. However, do keep in mind that don't enable Pixel 8 Pro and the unlimited storage at one go. This is because likewise this one as well, because the Pixel props is for the Pixel 5 and this is Pixel 8 Pro and this is for the Pixel XL. So you cannot have three variants of the Pixel phone in one attempt. So based on the need, only keep one of these three enabled. As of now, I'm keeping the Google Photo Storage option enabled. You may keep the one which correspond to your requirement as such. Then you may also show the CPU information and usage, as you could see at the top right is shown here. Then apart from that, you may change the default USB configuration, and that's just about it. Then if we go to the wallpaper section, wallpaper and style, it's the same that you get for across all the AOSP ROM. So you may change the wallpaper from here. It has a few on-device wallpapers or not, so there's only a single wallpaper, but you have a few additional wallpapers as well that you could choose from. And whatever wallpaper you choose, the same color will be implemented across the entire OS. As I've told you before, it's the Material UI theming engine, but you may also choose a few extra colors from here or go to the wallpapers colors and choose them from here as well. So for example, you could choose any of these color and the themes will change accordingly. This is the green theme, and so let's go to the default theme from here. Then apart from that, you may change, enable or disable the dark theme from here, or enable themed icon in the home app screen as well, and change the app grid size. And the icon font and the icon packs are the same that we have seen in the settings menu. Apart from that, if we go to the home screen, so they have combined both the home and the lock screen, so you get all the options in the same screen as well. Okay, so these are the basic colors also that you could choose from. Let me show you, and the changes will be implemented across the UI, and that's just about it. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.